G'day all and welcome back to Freo Faithful. Today we are here for the preview of the clash between Fremantle and Melbourne on Sunday at Rushton Park. 3:10 bounce down. It closes out the AAMI Community Series for another year. We haven't played at Rushton Park since I reckon 2016 is the last time we played there. It's got the Hayden Ballantyne wing. It's the home of our Waffle affiliate. Peel Thunder, who have been incredibly successful as of late, won the flag last year. And yeah, it's good to be back down in Mandurah. I will be at the game. Quite keen to see some of the guys out there. One guy I'm especially excited to see is Shea Bolton, who we obviously saw play very limited minutes for the All-Stars against us a few weeks ago. But this is a proper hit out. That All-Stars game felt a bit feel-good. Game didn't really matter. And people went at JL for his post-game comments about how, we went vanilla on purpose. We didn't want to give away too much. I completely side with him. I don't know why we'd play our actual game plan against a team that we're not going to play throughout the year. A team that it's not even similar to a team we'll play throughout the year. Like, that Indigenous All-Stars team is such an anomaly to any other club we'll play. So, yeah, I completely agree with JL about how we were vanilla and whatever. It's going to be a completely different Freo outfit we see tomorrow. And even then, if we lose, I just want to see a decent enough performance. I want to see some good signs. I don't really care about the result. I care about this result a little bit more than the All-Stars one, but I don't really care about the result. After all, in 2018, West Coast won the flag, Freo finished bottom four, or near bottom four, and Freo won by 80 in pre-season. So pre-season's quite irrelevant. It's really all about just getting good signs out of players, seeing the roles that we're giving to players, and it's going to be quite interesting because we've got a few injury clouds we need to discuss. Hayden Young's out, and he's not just going to miss this game. He's out of round 1 versus Geelong, and he might miss round 2 against Sydney as well. Don't know how much further it will go from there. Josh Draper is also out. He's a test to play Geelong in round 1, but he is certainly out for the game on the Sunday. And Alex Pearce is a test for the game on the Sunday, which leaves our backline situation quite interesting. With Draper missing and Pearce a test, it'll be quite good to see probably Hugh Davies get a run out, but with added responsibility. We gave him a lot of responsibility throughout 2024. A very, very young player. I don't want to say undercooked because whenever he stepped up in 2024, he did his job really well. So I think undercooked's the wrong word, but he's definitely not as big as a Pearce or a Cox, obviously. Even Draper's got a bit of size about him. He was certainly a bit, again, not undercooked, but he's just one of those players that you look at him and you don't know if he's ready for AFL level, but he stepped up and did really well. He's going to get a lot of responsibility if Draper and Pearce both end up missing this game. The Melbourne forward line is not necessarily the strongest when it comes to their key forward stocks, but it will still be good to see Hugh get a run out with a bit of added responsibility. In terms of the injury front for Melbourne, they're not missing many that we didn't already know about. The big story is that Christian Petrarca and Caleb Windsor will both play. Caleb Windsor, hard-running winger that could float to halfback. I love Caleb Windsor as a player. I watched him quite closely for Melbourne last year, and he's a real jet. And Christian Petrarca, obviously, this will be his first game since the King's birthday games last year when he, cracked a few ribs and did all sorts to his body. So, yeah, it's going to be good to see Track back out there. Obviously not ideal for us, but it's a pre-season game. Whatever. Let's move on to our midfield quickly, because I think this is a really interesting talking point going into the game. Obviously, with Hayden Young being out, there have been a few murmurs about who's going to go through there with the added responsibility, and we've got a 26-man squad we can put out, so it's not like we'll be starved of choice. We can certainly experiment. I think the guy that's been floated through there the most and the guy that's rumoured to play through the middle is Nathan O'Driscoll, which is quite interesting. But when you think about it, a bit like for like, they've both got that nice darting left foot. Drizzy's a bit bigger than people give him credit for. Like, he's a very quick player. Probably quicker than Young. In that credit, Young's bigger, taller and bigger. But O'Driscoll is as like for like as they come. Obviously not to Young's standard, but I think going through the middle, there won't be too much of a quality drop, which will allow guys like Jagger O'Meara and Matt Johnson to maybe play a bit more on the outside, that being the wing. So it'll be interesting to see how we rotate through those different options, whether that's wing or the inside. And I think Hayden Young not being there leaves a big hole and leaves a lot of room for experimentation. And with Young not being there, and with the 26-man squad, it will leave a lot of room for those half-forward, small-forward pinch-hit guys to get a run through there, like Shai Bolton, Sam Switkowski, Cooper Simpson. I'm expecting to play. I think Luke Jackson played as a rover for a bit during the All-Stars game. He might get a run through there, as well as Murphy Reid, obviously, will certainly play, and in my eyes is nearly a lock for round one at this point. Talking of rucks and Luke Jackson, this is certainly Liam Reedy's final audition for round one, because I wasn't impressed with this game against Cohen Livingston at all, who Cohen Livingston hasn't played an AFL game yet. And I just think Luke Jackson adds such different dynamic in the middle. And I was speaking about during the All-Stars preview, or maybe it was during the Best 23 video, but something we missed last year when Sean Darcy didn't play is we missed a big presence in the ruck. And Liam Reedy brought that when we needed it. But for some reason, I'm just a bit more keen on Luke Jackson heading into this season. And it makes sense as well if we just pick Jackson as the solo ruck, because Geelong in round one will be playing a makeshift ruck, most likely, because Toby Conway's out with injury, and Reece Stanley's a bit fringe at the moment. They've been playing Sam De Koning in the ruck all pre-season. And I watched De Koning in the Essendon game in the Community Series, and I didn't love the look of him, but I've still got a feeling Geelong will go with him for round one. So I quite like Jackson as the solo ruck round one, whether we stick with that for the first few weeks. That's personally what I go with. But yeah, the midfield has a lot of questions to be answered. Talking about Jackson, I'm keen to see what split he'll get, whether that's a rover, whether that's in the ruck, and whether that is playing down forward, which should be his primary position. But in my case, I'd probably prefer to see him play primary ruck, just in terms of what he can offer. And as I said, Geelong's ruck situation going into round one, and it's a big audition for Reedy as well, because he's playing against Max Gawn, who isn't a light task, and same goes for Luke Jackson, who probably knows Gawny a little bit better. One thing I'm super excited to see, not just Shai Bolton's first game for the club, but I'm really excited to see how he complements with Sam Switkowski, which on paper, that's been one thing I've been looking at for a while now. They complement each other so well on paper. Switter is that pressure forward. Shai Bolton is that sparky forward. It's almost like for like Alex Neil-Bullen and Cozzy Pickett, just in the way they complement each other. I'm really hoping we get the same sort of effect as Neil-Bullen and Cozzy did, obviously. The premiership came from that. But Switkowski and Bolton, I'm so keen to see tear up Rushton Park on Sunday. And one small thing I want to quickly discuss is that we struggled against the runners against the Indigenous All-Stars, which I want to take the Indigenous All-Stars game with a pinch of salt, because realistically, as I said, we're not going to play against any teams like that, and they were a very quick, high-pressure team, which we will play throughout the year, but probably not to that extent. But I do really want to see us against some really good runners that Melbourne have. Caleb Windsor in particular, if he causes some issues, I really want to see how we respond. But yeah, we need to be wary of Melbourne's runners, because that's something we certainly did struggle with against the All-Stars. Overall, I'm going to go Fremantle by 28 points. I think we'll be a little bit too good for Melbourne. We should be better than the Demons this year, just based off our list, where we're at as a club in our process. We should be better than Melbourne. We should beat Melbourne, but overall, I'm not taking my tip too seriously, because it's an AAMI Community Series game, and the result matters, but it's not the be-all or end-all. I don't really care. Like, Brisbane lost to Adelaide the other day, and they were all laughing and giggling after the game, so it doesn't really matter. Thank you all for watching. Super keen for the game on Sunday, and after that, it's straight into the countdown for round one, which by then, it'll be under 2 weeks till we head to the Cattery to take on Geelong. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you next time. We'll be live. Druzy will be going live for the fan cams after the game on Sunday, so make sure you stay tuned live on YouTube for that one, as well as keeping up with all the Instagram content on @Freo.Faithful. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Cheers.